Hi, this is Rattlesnake Movie Channel. A girl looked down and picked up a pen on the school bus. When she got up again, she found that the whole bus was split in two. She was the only one who escaped death. If you like my recaps, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on great movies. On a straight highway, a school bus is moving slowly down the road. The girls on the bus were having fun on their break from school, playing a pillow fight. The crowded car was instantly covered with feathers. Yoko is a quiet and lovely girl. She is not as noisy as the others. She was quietly writing her own stuff. Suddenly, because of the disturbance of the students next to her, she dropped her pen on the floor. Yoko leaned down to pick up the pen. Suddenly, a terrible scene happened in the car in front of her. Everyone in the car except Yoko. All of them were brutally cut up. The whole car became a bloody mess. Countless blood rushed out from the veins. Only Yoko, the only chosen one, escaped death. Looking at the scene in front of her, she was frozen in fear. All the blood around her was sprayed onto her. At this moment, the terrible evil wind from not far away was coming towards Yoko from far away and a little closer. The wire bar swept by the evil wind was also turned into two halves. Yoko tried desperately to escape the fate of being slaughtered. She fled from the car in terror. While running, she screamed in terror. The scenery on both sides of the road was divided into two seasons. On one side was a warm summer day. On the other side was the cold winter. The horrible wind was still chasing Yoko. Four pedestrians suddenly appeared in front of the road. Yoko hurriedly exclaimed them to hurry up and get down. When a team of riders arrived next to Yoko, they were also cut in half. Yoko was lucky to escape again. Watching the people around her die one by one in a tragic manner, scared Yoko had to keep running. She ran into the woods to escape the terrible evil wind. Through the jungle, she came to the river. The river was also full of bodies cut in half. Yoko then took off her clothes that were soiled with blood. She washed the blood stains off her face with the river water. Then she walked in the direction of the school. When he arrived at the school, she was shocked by sight before him. The students who had just been cut in half came back to life unharmed. It was as if the massacre was just a nightmare. Before Yoko could get back to her senses, she was shouted at by her best friend Naoko. Looking at Yoko's pale face and frightened eyes, Naoko asked with concern. While she was talking, an evil wind blew over again. Yoko panicked, habitually squatted, but she was ridiculed by the students around her. Seeing that everyone was safe and sound, Yoko's frightened heart finally calmed down. She told Naoko about the scary events of the morning, and in Naoko's opinion, it was just a nightmare that Yoko had. In order to calm Yoko's emotions, Naoko called her two best friends, Hirako and Miki. The four of them skipped the first period class and go to the forest for a break. The girls run around the forest and play with abandon. These happy moments finally make Yoko forget her previous fears. She started to believe that the massacre that happened before was just a nightmare, that she was in a trance. In the forest, when Naoko talked to the group about the massacre that Yoko had experienced, Miki was the only one who believed that it could be true. In a parallel time and place, maybe there is another self who is experiencing all of this. A pair of pillows suddenly appeared in the desolate woods. Everyone was happy to play a pillow fight again. Miki said that fate could not be changed, just as the speed and location of the falling feathers are set from the beginning. And in order to change all this, only by bravely trying those unconventional things, the gears of fate will change. Back in the classroom, Yoko was waiting for her second class to begin. Just as she was about to open her textbook, a pillow magically appeared at her feet. She leans down and picks up the pillow and is about to throw it at Naoko. Suddenly there was a loud gunshot. Numerous students instantly fell at gunpoint. Naoko was not spared either. The teacher was shot at all the students with a Gatling. He was punishing the students for skipping class. Hirako and Miki rushed into the classroom to save Yoko, but in the end, the two of them could not escape from all this. They died at the teacher's gunpoint before Miki collapsed. Miki said to Yoko, "Don't be defeated by reality. The key to changing this terrible situation is Yoko." The school was a peaceful place. What was once a peaceful school turned into a battleground for teachers. After escaping from the school, Yoko ran desperately towards the city. No one in the crowd on the street seemed to notice that something terrible had happened. Yoko ran into the police station and the screams from around her. She was the only one who could hear it. What is even more unbelievable is that. The policewoman knew Yoko and said that Yoko was her colleague. In the mirror, Yoko became a different person in a flash. The policewoman told her that today was her wedding day. She said that she would drag Yoko to the car and take her to the hotel. On the way, there are always all kinds of girls on both sides of the road, with weird smiles on their faces. When they arrived at the church, they were surrounded by people. Yoko was sent to get her makeup done. The person standing in front of her was Naoko, her dead friend. Naoko put on a white wedding dress for Yoko. Then she turned around. He killed the women who came to him with his bare hands, even a direct kick to the head. Under Naoko's guidance, Yoko also started to fight back. Naoko handed her a broken wine bottle. Yoko walked slowly into the church. The girls around her cheered enthusiastically and celebrated. But suddenly, the laughter turned into jeers. A wedding suddenly turned into a disgusting party. Yoko walked up, and the groom came out of the coffin. And what came out was a humanoid pig's head. Yoko screamed in fear. Then, she thrust the bottle in her hand straight into the neck of the pig's head. Blood immediately gushed out. And then Yoko went on a killing spree, until Naoko rushed in to take her away. But what was even more terrible was the teacher who used to be in the school. They were heavily armed and ready to deal with them. They have been transformed. The teacher is no match for them. In a short time, they took care of the teachers. In order to save Yoko, Naoko took the initiative to lure away the danger that followed, letting Yoko run forward alone. Soon, another girl in a sweatshirt called out to Yoko from the footbridge. Through the mirror, Yoko realized she had changed her appearance again. At the moment, she was running a marathon. Surrounded by her teammates, she was running hard, listening to her teammates' descriptions. Suddenly, the image of running with them flashed in her mind. And which of these is the real thing? When she turned around, she saw Hirako and Miki in front of her eyes, and the pig-headed groom and the teacher are coming after them with great ferocity. At the critical moment, Yoko was guided by her friend, took a shortcut and ran through the crowd, and ran to a silent cave. A girl suddenly appeared and pulled Yoko into the darkness. The feather behind her also fell. Suddenly, countless female ghosts with cloaked hair appeared in the quiet cave. The girl in the lead told Yoko to die, because as long as Yoko is there, they will keep dying. Naoko appeared at the critical moment, killed the girl in the lead. She pulls Yoko and prepares to escape from the world right now, reminding him not to forget his original identity.
私はミツコだ。私はミツコだ。私はミツコだ。
Then she makes Yoko pull out the wire on her arm, tear her up and walk out along the wire. Yoko is too scared to accept this. The chaos of the world has already broken her. Naoko tells her that they are in a fictional world. They are being manipulated and killed at will. The only person who can change everything is Yoko. Only when Yoko leaves this fictional world, the only way to change the reality of being killed repeatedly. And Naoko's body is the exit to the outside world. Only by tearing her apart will Yoko be able to go to the outside world. With Naoko's voluntary sacrifice, Yoko had to tear her body along the wire. Blood spilled out of her chest like a fountain. After Naoko's body was torn apart, an exit suddenly appeared in front of Yoko's eyes. Following the exit, she arrived in the real world, seeing the game poster with her image on the wall. At this moment, she finally believed Naoko's words. Yoko's appearance immediately attracted the attention of a boy, but then Yoko fainted and passed out. When she woke up, she saw countless female students on the wall. On the glass window in the middle was a display of models that looked exactly like her. An older man with white hair was playing a game. The image that appears on the computer screen is the life she saw as a nightmare. The older man is the one who restored Yoko. He is also the one who controls all these games, but he had no idea. The character he created had a sense of self. For 150 years, his greatest wish was to possess Yoko. He even created a younger version of himself to fulfill his wish. When Yoko was desperate, suddenly the words of Miki came to mind. The way to change your destiny is to be brave and do something unconventional. It's the manipulated future that will be broken. So she killed the young, old man, and in front of the old man's eyes, she used a walking stick to end her life. This manipulated life is broken. Red feathers scattered on the ground. The painful memories of the past were no longer there. All three Yoko committed suicide one after another, and the pain of the others will never happen again. For the Yoko, death is the end of this tragic story. It is also the beginning of their own lives. At first, I thought it was just a heavy movie with blood flying around. It was only at the end that I realized the central meaning of the film. Women's lives seem to be manipulated. At some point in life, there is a trajectory set by fate. Every step of the way cannot be misplaced. From student days to marriage days, a woman's destiny is set, even if they try to find a way out of everything. But still, fate plays tricks on them. This seemingly full life is just a blank. There is not even a moment to live for yourself. To change this, you have to break the rules, break the status quo to break everything set. But this often comes at a great cost, even sacrificing your life. Don't forget to subscribe if you like it. See you next time.